So here on our show, we usually adapt different IPs into movies. Today we're adapting real life into a movie.
We're telling a true story.
It is about an emu that got lost in the woods in Massachusetts.
Well, there's more to it.
I'm summing it up for the cold open.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Scream to Scream.
Ooh.
All right, now that we've done the cold open, Chris, why don't you give us a little more insight?
Well, while we were recording another spooky show for this spooky Halloween, I was on my phone trying to find some information about, I don't remember what it was, but I ended up on the most haunted locations in Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. And I hope you wrote down the name of the woods that this emu got lost in. So I forgot.
I don't think I did. I mean, I could look it up real quick. So this story takes place in Massachusetts, Freetown, Fall River State Forest.
So, it's considered to be one of the most haunted forests in America! And it has a lot of interesting things going on in it. A, it's claimed to be one of the most haunted forests in the country, which is already fun. B, it has its own cryptid, which supposedly wanders around, the Pukwudgie.
Oh, right, yeah. So it's a Native American...
A Native American cryptid.
Yeah. Okay.
So we got the Pukwudgies in here. We got... and this is the true story element that allows us to say based on a true story in our trailers, is at some point, a few years ago, a wild emu got loose and ran into the woods, and no one could ever catch it and find it again. But it did show up every once in a while to attack hikers. So we have a haunted forest with cryptids and a wild emu in the woods.
But I think the idea is that the locals fear that there is the cryptid.
The Pukwudgies.
The Pukwudgies are attacking hikers. Maybe we even open with like an attack.
Yes, a nice cold movie opens in media res, person running in the woods, freaking out, creepy shadows, and then an inhuman scream before that person's cut down.
Yeah, and then so what happens is that this sort of almost like a Ghostbusters, a scam situation.
Yeah. Like you've seen them on the History Channel and on Discovery Channel, and, Ghost Hunters. I'm
sort of thinking of, I feel like sort of like Mob Psycho 100, like the guy.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of like it's a scam. They say they're cryptid hunters, they say they're ghost hunters, whatever, but it's really just they scam gullible people out of money. They get hired to do this thing, and they expect, okay, whatever, it's nothing.
Yeah.
And they come up against this crazy emu. So while there is nothing supernatural happening, it's still a real threat.
Exactly.
And it's a bit of a horror comedy because it's kind of silly too.
Like, what I like about this is you can follow all the traditional beats of a Lost in the Woods horror movie, a la... Obviously, the Blair Witch Project will be a major influence. I really enjoyed The Ritual. I know you recently saw that.
Yeah. I hope like the emu's not like killing anyone in real life, but I mean like I know.
I think in our movie the emu's killing people.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is like I hope we're like not making light of like actual people dying here. But
in the article I read, it didn't mention death. It was just emu attacked seveul people.
Sure.
Like that's all I need.
Yeah. So we have this emu like picking people off in the movie. And it's sort of they have to fight this monster. The ideas I'm kind of thinking of is like maybe we allude to like it's an ancestor of like a velociraptor, or I should say the descendant of a velociraptor.
Yeah, the descendant of a velociraptor.
So it's like we could do these sort of like dinosaur sort of sounds and shots reminiscent of things in Jurassic Park.
We definitely have to have some like first person monster cam. I really like our cold open of someone just hiking in the woods getting picked off. You establish like, okay, there's something scary in the woods. You set a tone.
You see the talons.
You see it's just like a quick flash of what's going on. And we cut away from that, and we have our aspiring ghost hunters. They've been scamming people for a while, but it's not really paying the bills. They're looking at all their past due bills, and it's just like this isn't working out.
We introduced them maybe going to like some old lady's house, and like, oh no, tons of ghosts in here, tons of ghosts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then they get approached by some sort of slick TV producer. And he's like, hey, you know, I don't care if this is real or not. What I'm looking for is I want you guys to take a camera.
Okay.
And I want you to make some movie magic. We could just make it look spooky in post.
Okay.
And I got your first assignment. I've been hearing about something called the Puck Wedgie.
Okay.
So we established them as con artists. They're not working out. They're poor. They're broke.
I'm already getting ideas for characters here.
Good.
Because we have like, I feel like the Bill Murray character is like, oh yeah, sign me up, and like the Dan Aykroyd character is like, we are real monster hunters, and we can't bastardize this. It's like, we're not real monster hunters. Come on. There's nothing out there.
When he does a little bit of research, he's like, there might be something to this Puck Wedgie thing. You know what? We're going to do this. We're going to prove they're real.
It's almost like a Mulder and Scully sort of thing.
Yeah,
like one wants to believe, and one's sort of more the skeptic. I mean, it could also be like something like, what was it, The Conjuring, where it's a husband and wife. Am I getting that right, or is that the other one, or is that Insidious?
The Conjuring is the husband and wife.
Okay.
Because it's based on the real life ghost hunters.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like, just putting it out there, like thematically, you know, what two characters would aid the theme better? Like, would it be better if it's like a married couple going through a rough patch? You know, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not even saying.
You know, I think you won me over. I like the idea of like. Because horror movies, they work best when there's an emotional core, and so if you have two characters struggling through personal issues, especially interpersonal issues like a marriage or a relationship or a friendship.
Are these two skeptics trying to possibly find the like it's sort of like I'm just trying to see, like, maybe they're on the same page, and this like Discovery or History Channel, whatever guy, like this TV guy is sort of putting a wedge between them.
Ooh.
Where I'm trying to think of like what their business would be if they're skeptics. Like,
I mean, my guess was going to be my idea was when they first started, they were young couple in love, and they both were they believed.
Okay.
And as time went on, like, it wasn't paying the bills well, they were made fun of, they were a laughingstock. One of them got disillusioned, became more skeptical, and that's like the strain on their marriage, is when they were first together and deeply in love, they were both eagerly believing in things they couldn't tangibly touch. And the spark in their marriage died out along with one of their beliefs.
I think that if they are the real deal, like if they actually are investigators and not scam artists, then I think they would be very skeptical. I think they'd go to someone's house saying, oh, there's a ghost in here. And it's like, well, we've seen ghosts and this isn't a ghost.
Yeah.
Let's start at the end and work our way back, because in the end, nothing supernatural is happening.
That's true.
So what is the thing they need to learn? Is it even though your dream is dead, you have each other? Is that the idea?
Yeah, maybe because my thought is, you know, they fell in love while they both believed a certain thing, and one person changed, and that robbed them of the spark in their relationship.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like, you don't love someone because you both like the same thing or believe the same thing.
Yeah.
You love each other because of who that person is.
Right.
And when they survive the ordeal, they learn, like, you know what? No, that wasn't the basis of our relationship. The basis of our relationship was we helped each other out of bad situations. We're there for each other. So they learn to, like, support each other.
So just to sort of nail that down, their marriage is kind of on the rocks a little bit. They both don't want it to be on the rocks. And the only thing that's keeping them together is this business they run together.
Yeah.
And when that becomes... When it becomes, oh, this is our big break. If this fails, we have nothing. Then that fails, and they have nothing. Then they have to realize their relationship is actually more than that.
Yeah.
So once the mystery is gone, once the big reveal, this is just an emu, then it's like, okay, what do we have left? What's left of us? And then, you know, maybe their survival story makes them realize what they have.
Exactly.
So, okay. What if the idea is maybe they aren't right for each other?
Ooh.
You know, like, maybe this is a story about, like, an amicable divorce.
Okay.
We're not talking about emus at all. We're getting really lost in this.
I mean, I was going to drag us back pretty soon, but we do need to find our characters.
I just feel like that could be an interesting thing. Like, the thing that you thought was there the whole time wasn't. How do you deal with
and
that?
that's will be represented by, the puckwudgie is actually just a big-ass bird.
Like, it's just a big bird this whole time. What were we chasing? Like, thematically, it makes more sense to go, it's just a big bird and that's okay, you know? Maybe that's the thing. And they are, still friends and maybe even still work together. And then, I don't know, I feel like an amicable divorce might be the happy ending of this. I don't know. Like, is that so weird?
I don't think it's too weird. I feel like that's the kind of story we don't see very often.
Yeah.
And it'd be a nice touch. Because usually it's always, love triumphs and God damn it, you gotta make that relationship work. But in reality, sometimes relationships don't work.
It just seems, thematically, it just makes more sense because this whole thing, it's almost like the danger in the woods is that there's a big monster coming to get you. The danger in their relationship is that, oh no, we're going to get divorced.
Yeah.
And then when the big monster is revealed to be just a bird, then it's sort of like, well, divorce isn't that scary, you know? It's going to be okay.
We fleshed these guys out. We do need a few more characters.
Yeah.
Because it is a horror movie.
We need to kill off some people.
We need some cannon fodder. And the easy solution there is, they've never been a documentary duo. They've just been investigators.
Right.
So they're provided with a nice little crew. We
Right.
could have the sound guy, we could have the camera guy, we could have a producer, and we could have
like the interns, like the young guy, the camera girl and the sound guy have sort of like a young budding relationship.
Ooh,
and they the two leads see themselves like, oh, remember we were like that.
That's really good. I like that a lot.
Just to sort of parallel that and see what their struggles are, and they seem like nothing compared to the older couple. I don't know, just that kind of thing.
I think that's really good. We have a lot of fun scenes on our way to the forest, like, bumping into some old gas station attendants.
Yep.
I hope you're not going into those woods.
Yeah.
The Puckwudgie Woods.
Yeah, the Puckwudgie Woods.
And then after they leave, they gone already? I forgot to tell them there's a loose emu in there. No, we don't want to ruin the emu. I think the emu's a good reveal for later.
I think we're probably... I think that sounds like we're going to have that as a twist reveal. If the twist is it's not supernatural, the audience is just as blindsided as the characters are. Because you're so set up to go, oh, this is a movie with monsters, whatever, and when it's revealed to just be a silly little bird.
Stupid fucking, giant ass bird.
Sorry, yeah.
Nothing little about an emu.
Little as in unimportant.
Yeah.
Does the emu get away at the end?
I feel like, I don't know. I don't know.
If the emu represents them seeing their relationship for what it is, then it doesn't matter. They could either kill it because it's not important anymore, or it could just let it go. It would be kind of funny to let it loose in a department store.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Maybe that's the third act or something.
Because we could have a nice big setting change. Throughout Act 2, we lose most of the cast members. They realize it's an emu. They run away and they find maybe an abandoned department store or something. That way the final act can be them against fucking emu in a big ass Walmart.
Well, I think it'd be funny to have a not abandoned department store.
Oh, just a fully operational.
Yeah, I think that's real. I think that's really funny.
That could be really good.
It's just, it reminds me of there was that not Diet Coke, a Cherry Coke commercial from the late 90s where guys riding an ostrich through a department store.
Yeah.
And it just kind of reminds me of the havoc you can run. It's just I think that's a very fun. It's dangerous, but it's also very funny.
Oh, that could be really good. Our survivors burst into a Walmart covered in blood, screaming. People are like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" And then this giant bird just burst through a window.
Maybe that's. I keep thinking of this bird as a metaphor for the relationship, and now I'm sort of feeling, is it they see the bird, they see what they really are, and they go, maybe an amicable divorce is the way to go, and they're driving the bird to a sanctuary or whatever, and that's when it gets loose in the department store. And by fighting the bird in the department store, they find like a new, like they're they remember why they love each other.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's the thing. Like maybe. I don't know. I don't really care if they get together or not. I love the idea of the bird representing their relationship.
Yeah.
Like, the unknown is scary, but once your problems are out in the open, you can talk about them. You find out, is it time to move on, or can we fix this? And I just think that's like a fun way to do it. Like, it's the mysterious, creepy thing that we don't want to talk about, but now that we see what a dumb animal it is, we can rein it in. Like, I see this as sort of like an animatronic emu, like it's like this like it's mangy and like it's been out in the woods. This emu, you barely see it. I feel like it's like Jaws. You barely see it, but then you do see it, and it's just this like gross and funny looking.
Just a feral, dirty, hasn't been well fed.
Looks somewhat like a dinosaur with feathers.
Yeah.
Though I guess dinosaurs had feathers now.
So, again, really love the idea. You know, you have a hiker, he's going through these woods, he's, like, consulting his compass, he just doesn't have a signal on his phone.
Yeah.
He's kind of getting freaked out, and then you hear, like, weird noises rustling in the bushes. He starts getting panicked. The camera's getting closer and closer on his face, so you're getting claustrophobic. Ooh. And then you have that inhuman scream before he dies.
Can I already make a slight change to this?
Oh, sure.
Like, not to make... I don't want to hit, like, the theme too hard, otherwise it's going to be conspicuous. But what if it is a couple and they're arguing with each other?
Oh my!
You know, and then they get killed.
How about it's a guy on the phone with his wife?
Okay,
so they're clear. That way we have like the isolated dude.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. It just like to touch on the theme. Like, just touch on it.
I mean, it's nice if that's the first thing that happens is you introduce the thematics of your movie. Yeah, it's just a strong way to start a movie.
You know, if the monster represents like conflict, domestic conflict, then that could be like a, you know, these people, we don't want to see, subconsciously we're thinking, oh, these people are going to get eaten because they have a domestic conflict. So I think that's pretty good. I'm going to just throw in, because this will come up, if this were to really happen in real, because I mean, like, it's based on a true story, but not that much.
We're making literally just the part about an emu attacking hikers.
The thing is, like, in real life, you'd probably get like an animal expert and go, oh yes, these are emu claws, like, you know, so like, I don't know if there's some sort of thing that prevents that. Do we have to address it?
I don't think we need to, because even in reality, like, we know an emu got loose and we know an emu attacked people. That's how this whole story started. So we need to kind of like play on the ignorance of just these are ghost hunters, basically.
We could say this is like, because this is a horror comedy, we could bend the rules of reality a bit. We could have just like a very incompetent chief of police investigating, like, no, this is a monster, you know, like, it's like, but chief, shouldn't we get an animal expert in here? Like, nah, these woods are haunted, you know, like, something like that, just to legitimize why they don't get an animal expert to, you know. There are people getting killed in this town, and the mayor is like, our tourism is going down the toilet. We need to do something fast. And that's when they do the reality TV.
I like that.
It's like, we need people to want to come here. We need to turn this disaster into a tourist attraction. And if it's just some wild animal, then that's nothing. But if it's a monster, then it's sort of the reverse of Jaws. We got to kill off some people, and usually how these movies go is like the least likable people get killed off first.
Oh, exactly.
And then you slowly work your way up to the likable people, and then like, oh, now it's real scary.
Because, like, the big stakes are when someone you actually care about dies on camera, it's, oh, I don't know who's safe anymore.
Yeah. So
if they're willing to kill off the goofy guy who reminds me of my childhood friend, I don't know who's safe now.
Yeah. So they do like a reverse Jaws where they want to build up, oh, there's a monster in the woods, and that's when they get the reality TV. That's when they hire like the experts, and then they're having their own. Maybe they, you know, we cut to them. They're in the middle of their own investigation. They're just kind of going through the paces. You know, the you know, maybe they're going on maybe they're going on a date with each other, and it's awkward, and all they can do is talk about work. And like it's just like it's awkward in a way that two married people should not be.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe when they're on the scene, they got each other's back. You know, like, oh, the old lady's like, oh, there's a ghost. And we're like, oh yeah, oh, a lot of ghosts here, and they're finishing each other's sentences. Then they have dinner together, and it's sort of like so.
Like they're great work partners. They're terrible life partners.
Yeah, and now it's like, they have nothing to talk about at dinner, and it's just sort of painfully awkward, and they're like jumping at the chance to do this job because it's the only way they can relate to each other is through this facade that they're not real ghost hunters. They're lying to people, they're lying to each other, lying to themselves, and that's the only way they know how to live is through lying. It's through fiction, which is going to mirror at the end when they're in the department store. Like maybe it's like an IKEA or something, and they're literally in a domestic setting.
That's good.
Like it's like an infinite living room, and you know they're having like they're having these like physical fights with the bird instead of having like a, you know, they're getting everything out they wanted to say, and they're living their true selves, and they're living reality, and they see each other for who they really are, and they see what was the spark to begin with. Like you know, in this new version, I'm saying they do get back together at the end. I kind of like that.
I like that too.
So sort of jumping back, so they do take the job. They meet the film crew. They meet like the smarmy director who's gonna die. I'm kind of reminds me of all weird things. I'm thinking of Jack Black from King Kong.
Oh God!
Like, because I remember he is like, no, we have to keep going. It's what he would have wanted.
Yeah.
So something like that. Like this director with a vision, even though he's a reality TV director.
Yeah, but he's full of himself, so like, it doesn't matter. He could be directing a children's cereal commercial, and he would still try and be like, you know, I have a vision. I'm an artist.
I see him as sort of like a Tarantino wannabe, where he believes he's an auteur.
I was gonna say, like, at some point he has to be like, as an auteur, I believe this is my voice. We're looking for. It's like, no one knows who you are, Greg. Come on.
Maybe he's like Eli Roth. Maybe that's who he is. Well, you know what? It'd be really fun if Eli Roth played him.
I mean, I would love that because
I think Eli Roth kind of knows he's a douche. Like,
Eli Roth plays up that character a lot.
So I think it'd be fun if he actually played it. I think he'd be into that. We've got a crew of, I don't know, 5? How many people do we have to kill? I don't know.
Let's see. We have the director. We're going to need the sound guy, the cameraman. The police chief is going to be there.
Right. Yeah, I guess he's going to want to be there.
And I think one of the survivors should probably be just like an overworked, a harried intern. Like,
yeah.
They're just constantly like being put upon.
That's good. Yeah. Who's like screwing things up and is not very confident. That could be kind of fun.
Like you always need the doofy person who reminds you of your childhood friend.
and maybe one of those things where it looks like he dies and then comes back at the end to save people. Like maybe he gets like his arm eaten off, but he's like ties it off and he's like, I
like that. There's kind of a B plot about this bumbling, well-meaning person who can't find their place in the world, who at the end of the movie has a place.
Yeah.
That'd be actually pretty fun if the big reveal that it is an emu and not a monster is he loses an eye to a bird.
Yeah.
And just this big goofy, obviously an arm in a puppet, just snatches his eyeball off.
Oh, that'd be so funny to just like, ow.
Yeah.
It reminds me of I think it was in Scream 3 when like Ghostface throws like a knife at David Arquette, and the handle hits him in the head.
Yeah,
like it's that kind of joke where it's like, it's like, oh, that stupid bird ate my eye.
Yeah, oh, that'd be so good. But of course, we need him to appear to die. So like,
yeah,
it's undercut that he just lost an eye a little bit by how goofy the notion of it is. Yeah. But then he stumbles backwards and falls off like a hill or a cliff or something. So it looks like he's dead.
Yeah, and then he comes back.
I'm thinking he comes back in the middle of Act 3, like our heroes in the department store, in the IKEA.
I'm thinking that. I think IKEA is funny. Like that's a funny place to end a horror movie.
It is because IKEA is a fucking maze.
Yeah, I really like that. Like it's very funny. Like they have got all the funny names.
It would be so good.
And they can use all these things as like weapons to fight it. Like,
hurry, throw me the Glockenspiel.
Yeah.
The what?
Yeah. They've all got like funny names. Yeah, I think that's so like.
At one point, they could be lost and frightened. They're like, just check the map, but it's like covered in blood. And it's like, I don't know, it's covered in blood.
That's good. And it's just so funny because like. I mean, yeah, obviously, like this was the reason why I chose IKEA, but like I just like the idea. It's like it's the place where married couples go. Yeah. It's IKEA, and they're lost in IKEA. They're. I think this is very fun.
I like that a lot.
I don't know how the emu gets into an IKEA, but I like.
Let's talk about that for a second. I like the idea that like toward the. Like Act 3 is about to start, or Act 3 is even starting at this point. Like they've conquered the emu, right?
They've conquered the emu. Their relationship looks like it's over. Like they've gotten to a point where it's like, what is this? What is this relationship? It's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, we still have feelings for each other, but it's just not going to work out, and we need to know. Just like this monster we've been chasing, it's just a damn bird, and we got to split up.
Like, I'm thinking, everyone's dead. It's just them. They have their big moment where they realize what's going on with them.
Yeah.
And they capture the emu, and that's like their big thing. It's like, hey, we figured us out. We caught this bird. They dump it in the back of their pickup truck. They're pretty sure it's dead at this point.
Yeah. Like, all the cameras are gone.
Yeah, there are no cameras anymore. They're pretty sure that emu is a dead bird now. They throw it in the back of a pickup truck. They're going down the road.
Okay.
And, maybe one of them was just like, listen, I need to eat anything, even if it's a garbage meatball from a heat lamp.
Hey, IKEA meatballs are very good.
They are. They're delicious Swedish meatballs.
Yeah.
So, like, they pull into an IKEA, they go inside, and, like, while they're standing in line for their meatballs, like, the power gets cut. The bird cut the power.
Yeah. Wait. So they walk into an IKEA covered in blood. Because like there's so many movies. Dirt. So many movies end with like these blood-covered, battle-scarred folks just like wandering into a place to get food. Like even the Avengers. Yeah.
It freaking ends in a shawarma joint. Like
there is a way to do that. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like the scene. Like they probably get a lot of weird looks from people.
Yeah.
And it's like I just need some meatballs. Like, I need some goddamn meatballs and some elderflower juice.
Elderflower juice. I forgot they sell that thing. I need my meatballs with lingonberry sauce and some elderflower juice.
Maybe that's some weird personality tick that's sort of like maybe they met at an IKEA and it's like their last bit of a relationship. It's sort of like, let's say goodbye in style, like let's go back to where it started,
end it like it began,
and then they don't even say it though. They don't even say it. It's sort of like, hey, you want to go to IKEA, and like they just like there's like that tender moment where it's like, yeah, and we know because earlier it's been set up that's how they met.
Yeah, like someone could. While talking, like, setting up the episodes for this show, like, so tell us how you ghost hunting couple met.
It's like, just met in IKEA. I was trying to get a bookshelf, and I was returning something, and
it's like a throwaway line that becomes significant later on. Yeah, it's always my favorite type of line in the movie.
Yeah, like they said, you want to go to IKEA, and like the subtext is like, I still have feelings for you, but and I'm also starving. Let's go eat some meatballs.
Yeah. And then we have our big cat and mouse game with this bird trying to kill him for. I think at this point just personal revenge. It seems like.
I think it's funny to have the bird. It seems like it's got a plan, like it's smart, but it is just kind of random that it cut the power. Mm-hmm. But it's sort of like this bird has a vendetta against us, but it's really just a dumb bird.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence that it managed to bump into cables.
All right, so we need a title. We need a title that doesn't give away.
It doesn't give away the emu. And it probably shouldn't be the name of the forest because that is just impossible to remember because it's just 17 stop words.
I'd also say let's probably rename the forest because it's based on a true story, but like. People actually did get attacked, and also like we're making up a lot of stuff.
I mean, you could do it the Blair Witch style, which is in an unnamed forest in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Haunted by the legends of the Pukwudgie.
I don't know what to call this.
This is how about
if
you have an idea for a title for our movie. Comment below.
Yeah, I guess so. I'll make up something for the thumbnail. We'll call like the Emu movie or something. If you've got any other ideas for any types of movies you'd like to see here on Scream to Scream or Screen to Screen, let us know in the comments.
If it's spooky, it'll be for October. If it's not spooky, you have to wait for a non-spooky month.
And we do have a bit of a backlog because you guys have been coming up with some very good ideas.
And we are doing them.
We are doing them. They're coming. They're forthcoming. Bye.
Stay spooky.